What's up, guys? This is RonTheTryhard back with another Zasa's matchup tips. So in this video, I'm going to cover 6BB lethal hit, which, you know, is this thing. Now, you'll probably see a lot of skilled Zasalamel players, and, you know, some not intermediate Zasalamel players pulling this off a lot. Like, you'll say, like, wow, this is such an easy to pull off lethal hit. Like, they don't even have to try. It's just a free neutral lethal hit, right? But in case you didn't know, the only way that this is triggered is by landing it on tip. So, like, for instance, I land it here, nothing. I land it here, I get it. If I'm at, like, perfect tip range, which is hard to do, it's like, you have to be like a sub-pixel away, it actually doesn't lethal hit at all, and it misses altogether. So perfect tip range is not even a lethal hit, which is kind of wacky. But against a big character like Zas, it's kind of hard to get that tip range. But yeah, either way, it's... And the other thing about 6BB is that I can kind of delay it ever so slightly. Like that. So... like that. So it's like, oh, you know, I'm safe. And then that happens, you know? Like, I get a lot of people with that. So you do have to watch out of how active it is. And, you know, and as Zasalamels, we know that if a Zasalamel whiffs 6BB, you can 6BB back. Like, it's very easy. It's very negative on whiff. And then, you know, just like that, they got schmixed for all their health. So, yeah, 6BB is very much a gimmick. It's very, very good on whiff punishes, in particular, as you see there. But if I'm just throwing it out randomly, like, if the opponent knows what range I want to do 6BB lethal hit at, that's going to be a problem for me. So, like, if, like, let's see. Actually, no, let's put it there. So yeah, that's the lethal hit range. If I know that, then I will be, like, box stepping at that range. And the only thing that he can really catch you with at that specific range, if you don't backstep properly, is 4A. But at this range, you can kind of box step to some extent, and it's pretty successful. So, let's see. That. So, like, at the start of a match, if you're like Zasalamel and you do it too slowly, this is one of these stages examples where it's pretty easy for a Zas to start with a 6BB lethal hit. Like that. But, okay, there was the tip range I was talking about, you see? So, that didn't lethal hit because it was on perfect tip. But, anyway, you can kind of box step at that range that he wants to play at. So, one of the things that is kind of crazy too is kind of covering a little bit of what I went into in the last video. That sets him up perfectly to backstep into 6BB lethal hit. That 222B plus can block. So, like, say I do this, then I get lethal hit. So, he has setups for it, and you have to know that. So, if you see him do that, that'll work, but... And yeah, if you step to your left, I forgot about that. That can still track if you step to your left sometimes. So you want to wait for it to actually finish being active. And step to your right. I covered that in a previous video. So then you can punish it. So, you know, all of this stuff. So, it's pretty nasty. The punishes that you can get on Zas when you whiffs that move, if you really capitalize it and optimize what your punishes are. So that's that. 6BB on its own, of course, is, you know, I think it's, what is it, like +4 or +6 on regular hit. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's +4 on regular hit. So, you know, he pulls you in, basically can set up for like a throw or a 3A to clash with your I-12. If you try to mash on that, you know, he'll beat you out if he does anything else. He can, you know, do that if he expects you to mash a 2A or something. Basically, this is kind of his turn unless you have an I-10 and want to risk versus him not doing a ducking move. But yeah, lethal hit is really where this move shines. Because, you know, this is his, like, bread and butter for that. That's curseless. That's 74 damage off that lethal hit. Or he can do something like this to get, like, a bit of stage carry. And, you know, if you're not waking up or air controlling properly, he will do that. And I'll cover that in another video, that combo I just did there. This one. But for now, that's basically it. Just watch out for this. Watch for the range that he likes to play it at. I would highly suggest going into training and practicing, you know, what range he likes to play at with that. Like, practice getting that range down so that you can visually see what range it's at, and at that range you would want to kind of box step or sidestep. But you know, he has one counter option, which is that, or he can run into 6-6A. But 6-6A is shorter reach. Like, see, I can more easily box step out of that one at the same range that 6BB with lethal hit. So 4A is really his best option if he suspects you sidestepping at that range. But box stepping at that range will get out of it. And that's basically 6BB lethal hit. It was a pretty short one. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, if you have any suggestions, be sure to let me know in the comments. And be looking forward to the next video, where I will cover his CE and setups into his CE, and, like, you know, what kind of AGI stuff he has with it. So, be looking forward to that one. Thanks, guys. See ya.